Welcome to Around the Rinks, your go-to hockey podcast.
We are back. Another episode of Around the Rinks. I'm Noah, joined by Brendan, Kylee, and Liam. Brendan's back from the cartel.
With no
He's
facial
back.
hair.
No facial. They shaved it off.
They took some hair, but we're back all in one piece. It's all good.
Now they just got Reese.
Yeah, Reese is
Now
gone.
they got Reese again.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, good trade. I gotta be honest. I don't know. We'll see who at the end of the day has more facial hair, Reese or our boy Brendan.
There we go.
But yeah, Brendan, the playoff beard is gone.
Yep. Sad day.
Sad day. It was a sad Monday here in Edmonton. And I mean, sad week probably, honestly. I mean, the weather hasn't even been good either. So,
Mother Nature is literally
Mother
crying
Nature is
today.
pretty pissed. Yeah.
No, it's
But yeah, Game 7.
what a night that was. What a night.
What a night.
What could have
Honestly,
been.
what a game. Honestly, I think all expectations, it was such an amazing game to watch. My heart was pounding. I'm not even a fan of either team, and I was stressed out because I just know how much it means to both franchises, extremely here in Edmonton. Like being in the building for Game 3 and 6, holy smokes! Like no other fan base deserves it. Sad they didn't make it across the finish line, but who says they can't do it next year? Who says they don't do what Florida did this year, right?
Let's see what happens. I mean, I think we'll talk a bit about potential players on the move probably after we break down the game itself. But of course, the whole Leon Draisaitl saga is just starting now postseason. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, the game itself, I mean, we talked about it the previous podcast about how excited and how ready the city of Edmonton was for Game 7 and the potential of winning the Stanley Cup, bringing it back to Canada for after 30 years. And Monday was insane in Edmonton. Downtown Edmonton, I think, had about 35 to 40,000 people in it. The game wasn't even in Canada. So I think that says a little bit about the fan base here. All fan parks and watch parties were filled up before 4 o'clock. People are lining up at 7 a.m. Bars were packed. Restaurants were packed. Every single place that showed the game was full. And then came game time. There we go. We got there eventually.
It was pretty nice to be in the building too. I know the game wasn't there, but it was great to not have to be outside because outside was crazy. I got to see a bird's eye view from Ford Hall, and the Moss Pit line, especially the one on the Rogers side, was absolutely crazy. I only saw about a couple hundred people get let in on that side just because of the line was about 50 people wide. It was absolutely insane. But I do want to say, I think Edmonton is still pretty proud of the Oilers. We made it this far and I know we keep saying it again, but we weren't doing good at all in the beginning of the season. So to make such a change and get so far, and it wasn't we got blown out. It was 2-1.
It was
so
2-1
they
Game
just
7.
shut it down. They really did. They shut us down.
It's a good way to look at it. It's not a disappointing season. You took the next step, right? You lost in the conference final last year, finals this year. Then you're going to take another step forward, right?
I mean,
hopefully.
Hopefully. That's the goal, right?
It depends on what happens in this off season, like Liam hinted to. We need to know, I said, I don't want to do anything else than be an Oiler, but he didn't say yes or no. So it's a little bit scary.
At the end of the day, it's not all down to Draisaitl, though. I mean, there's a lot of different pieces of the puzzle at play. Yeah. I mean, I saw a bit of stuff online, people talking about the moves that the new Edmonton Oilers GM is going to have to make when they come into their position, because Ken Holland is out as GM in Edmonton. So whoever does come in,
it's not going to be Jeff Jackson. He has no intentions to be GM.
By that.
Which is, I think everybody thought is going to happen once the season ended. Even no matter what the result was, that Kenny Holland was going to step down because he clearly doesn't want to be GM anymore, which he said. It wasn't firing from the Oilers end, but But yeah, everybody thought Jeff Jackson's going to step in as the new GM, but he wants to stay operations. I don't know I forget what he does.
But there's a lot of different pieces
Some
that
sort
have
of
to
president.
be kind of dealt with and figured out before the puck drops for next season. I mean, everyone talked about, especially in the series against Florida, of how good the third line stepped up for Edmonton. That entire third line has to be dealt with by the new GM. There has to be some contracts. Some people, they're going to have to let go of a couple decent names. I mean, money's going to be tight in Edmonton for next season.
The good thing is you do have 10 million in cap space, so you are going to be able to bring back. I mean, I saw Henrique possibly coming back, which I think that would be brilliant. I love how he fit in Edmonton. But a guy like Janmark, you need to bring back. A guy like Brown, I think you should bring back.
Oh yeah.
Let's talk about Janmark. Let's talk about him. He scored the only Edmonton goal in Game 7. Great goal as well. I got to give him credit.
Beautiful pass by Mr. Cody Ceci.
How about Cody Ceci, Mr. Game 7 himself?
What a pass that was.
Out of nowhere.
You know what? I've really grown to start liking him because he really stepped it up and found his place on the team.
3 podcasts. What is going on?
I know.
I don't know.
Because she said that she hates Cody all the time. Literally, in the entire series against Vancouver.
In the beginning of the year, I hated him because he was playing.
You hated him like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
No.
Yes, you did.
I remember.
Pull up the quote. I'm pretty sure you said drop him, bring back Desharnais.
Desharnais, yeah.
I think you wanted him executed.
Why would I not want Desharnais playing over Cody Ceci? Desharnais was playing solid all season. Cody Ceci wasn't.
Vinny Desharnais does not set up assists for our boy Matthias Janmark like Mr. Ceci does.
So one good assist or Vinny playing good all season? It doesn't really add up to me. And I think I'm right.
The question I want your 3 is Matthias Janmark your underrated player of the entire playoffs for Edmonton Oilers?
It's him or Brown.
There's a couple that could be.
Goals.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I think Janmark and Brown are tied for that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think we can say
they
like
work
Janmark
together so well.
Brown's down here. They were together.
Yeah, without one, the other may have not done as well, right?
Yeah.
But I give it to both of them.
I think the rookies too, right? You can't overlook
Holloway
and Broberg both, and Broberg stepped in late. But the fact that Holloway was playing, I guess both were playing, top 4, top 6 minutes. Incredible! You didn't expect that out of him, right?
If I had to give it to someone, it'd probably be Broberg, right? Because he did step in so late and he held it down with defense. He scored. He played great games. I like when you don't really see them much during the game because that means they're not messing up. But then it's great when you see them because they're usually scoring, assisting. I think it was Broberg because he's young. He didn't play a lot at all. And he stepped it up for the playoffs, which you can't really, not a lot of people are able to do that where they can get thrown into playoffs.
There's not really many Edmonton Oilers I point the finger and go, you had a bad playoffs. I think everybody had, a good playoff overall. I mean, they stepped up in moments when they needed to. They scored when they needed to. They shut it down defensively when they needed to. If we're honest, and if the city of Edmonton is anything but hypercritical, in that final series, there's only one guy who I think the finger gets pointed at of, you could have done more. You should have done more. We needed you to do more, and it was Leon Draisaitl. I mean, he's your number 2. He's your second biggest weapon. And where was he? When you needed a goal of him in his spot, he had a couple chances and just couldn't score.
Yeah.
You say he's number 2. He's number 1 on every other team.
100%. 100%. Which is why
it just shows you how much.
That is why I do feel he may lean towards looking at an exit door coming up here. If you want to be number 1 on a team, it's not going to be in Edmonton. I'm so sorry. You have to go elsewhere to get that.
Do we get him for the next season?
Yep.
Yes.
I think he stays for the next season.
If they don't sign him, though, they would rather trade him.
They would rather trade him.
Oh, so it's either like now or never.
Yeah.
Kind of, it sounds like.
They don't wait till the very end, hey?
No to Chuck situation.
Yeah.
Or Goodrow, I guess.
Goodrow, yeah. That's what they learned.
The one that left.
Well, if I were him, I'd want to see how next season plays out, right? Like, as we're saying, it can only go up from here for the Oilers.
Not necessarily. I mean,
no, we can crash and burn.
The thing is,
your roster's so loaded, it probably won't happen, but there's no guarantees in sports, man.
I think it really does depend on what happens in the off season. If we can keep our team together, which is very unlikely, if we can keep it like our key players together, which I think our new GM will really look into, I think we can do just as good as we did last year.
Would you agree, though, that the Edmonton Oilers, especially the big guns, I'm going to say, put a lot of effort into this season where they started so poorly and I said, guys, we got to get our shit together here. We need to be a team that can win a Stanley Cup. Let's go. I mean, we see the numbers that Hyman put up. We see what Connor McDavid did, not only during the playoffs, but all season long. Draisaitl's goal scoring throughout the season. Smaller players stepping up, like your Janmark, like your Brown, like your Henrique. And you go, did they kind of put all their eggs into this season's basket? And now come next season, they're just, guys, the tank is empty. The juice is out. Sorry, but I have nothing more to give. I need a break. I need something different.
We could have said that about last year, no?
100%. I think we saw that at the beginning of this season. The way that we started was, guys, the tank is empty. There's no more fight in us right now. We feel a little bit defeated. It took getting the shit kicked out of you for a month of NHL hockey to go, okay, guys, do you want to do this for the entire season, or do you want to actually be something this year? And they got.
I think the new coach was a big play in that.
I agree.
The coach can only do so. Don't get me wrong. A coach is so important, but I think the players have to put it on themselves to go, guys, we're not a bottom 3 NHL franchise. We have potential of making Stanley Cup Finals. Let's become that. So,
well, I think when you get a taste of victory like that, you believe in yourself more.
I have worries for next season. I do.
I'm not a 2.5 month off season as well. Like that's not much time
to recover.
They were talking about McDavid needing abdominal surgery.
I'm sorry, Around the Rinks broke that first. I gotta be honest.
Yeah, Around the Rinks did break that over.
It wasn't supposed to be public knowledge, but we made it public knowledge.
Yeah, we made it public knowledge last episode.
Yeah,
maybe the Florida Panthers watched it.
We were the first Edmonton out
any media outlet.
Like I'm struggling today. Yeah, we were the first.
You cannot talk, can you?
Media outlet to put that out in the public.
How about we're an Edmonton media outlet? That's
we're members of the public media.
Iconic. Wow.
Members of
Around the Rinks.
Media.
Look at us go.
Look at breaking news.
I should have tweeted it, actually. I should have just put a whole big
Should have tweeted. I mean, I think we got 7 views last episode. So maybe one of those 7 was the Florida Panthers.
They were in the know. Paul Maurice is scouting around the Rinks. But yeah, McDavid supposedly needing abdominal surgery. Draisaitl has a broken rib, broken finger. But did you hear the list of injuries that Florida dealt with?
It's every year for them.
A broken foot. This guy had a broken, was it his rib? I don't know. Maurice lists off a bunch of different injuries. But that's playoff hockey, right?
Oh yeah, you got 2.5 months before you get to kick it off again. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a little bit more of a hangover.
Yeah,
that's tough to come
slow
back
starts,
from. Game 7, a Game 7 loss. That's tough to come back from.
It's why it's having the Stanley Cup Final and the last week of June.
Yeah,
is absurd.
Yeah, I kind of blame that on the NHL. That was a horrible schedule.
Like I think it should be awarded last week of May. Then you push the season a week earlier, a month earlier, even. I don't know.
I mean,
it's crazy. I know that's something everybody talks about.
Because I mean, really, we say it's a 2.5 month break, but it's not.
It actually was the longest season ever recorded.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not like they're going away on 2-month vacation. They're sitting back doing nothing. No, the work starts tomorrow, kind of thing, in terms of getting your body healthy, getting anything figured out that you need to, contract negotiations. Yeah, you might get a couple weeks off here, but you're not going to get much more than that.
And now the awards is going on right now, or I think it just ended, but the draft is tomorrow. You're going right back out there. Like McDavid's in the crowd.
I feel
just
so bad.
Losing 3 days ago.
I feel so
Game 7
bad for that, man. I mean, the thing is,
it was hard to watch.
Any sport there has to be a winner and a loser. And unfortunately, he was a loser in this one. But those to have to answer those questions at the end of the game, how are you feeling right now? Pretty garbage. I gotta be honest with you. Like, I'm not a happy man.
I honestly wish I saw more out of Florida. I didn't see much media after the game. I want to see more of them partying.
Do we want to?
I don't know why I haven't seen much.
Yeah, do we want to talk a little bit about the Conn Smythe trophy? Because I know everywhere I'm seeing on the internet, all the Florida fans have to say is McDavid's a sore loser, McDavid's a bum because he couldn't go accept that. And it was honestly really pissing me off.
I absolutely hate giving the Conn Smythe to the losing team.
It's a participation ribbon
that you get that is
when you're in grade 7. Like, when you lose, why would you want to go out for that and get booed? They were booing him when he wasn't even there. It was that just showed me that Florida couldn't even be happy for the losing team and be happy for themselves at the same time.
I don't know.
He definitely.
I think those are just some sour fans, but
he deserves it more for being. I mean, what he.
Oh yeah, he most definitely deserves it.
Insane. That playoff run was just. And then the fact that on top of his numbers, it's now he needs surgery. It's a minor surgery. There's no such thing as a minor surgery. I'm sorry. It's so the question is, what can this guy do when he's at 100% healthiness and just that's all he's focused on? Those numbers would just be ridiculous.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, with the Conn Smythe, and like for me, and I saw the sportsmanship thing, and I get where they're coming from, right? But it's not Jimmy playing U13 hockey, right? Like, you're not going to the show, big guy. You just lost Game 7, and what look does that like have to the team, right? Like, your captain, your leader, the guy that drug you here, the guy we're bringing it back to Berta, like all these things, and he's like, "Oh, hold on a sec, I gotta go back accept my MVP trophy." Like, that's such a terrible look. It's pro sports, man. Like,
he was probably there consoling his team in the locker room. He doesn't need to go out there and be booed by the winning team. Like, are you kidding me? So I definitely agree with you, Brennan.
Yeah, like booed, cheered, whatever. Like, you can throw the trophy in the garbage as much as I care, right? Like,
I'm sure
I don't know. Twitter warriors.
I'm sure he's very proud of winning the award. I'm sure he.
When you look back at it.
Yeah, in retrospect, he's going, man, I'm happy that I was able to put in performances week in and week out and end up winning this trophy. I think that's fantastic for him personally and the team, because I mean, it shows how good Edmonton was this cup run. But yeah, in that moment, at the end of Game 7, you're not coming back on the ice to get your little diddly trophy when the real one is on the other end of the ice,
There's only one trophy that a hockey player wants, and it's the Stanley Cup. And I don't know, I just think it's a bit ridiculous.
Yeah, it's and like, I understand the fans who go, that's bad sports. I get that. But you have to look at it through his set of eyes of, do you think he really
if they were an Oilers fan, they wouldn't be saying it.
Yeah, he doesn't want that trophy. He wants the big silver one.
It's pro sports. We're not dealing with minor hockey here. Like, it's such a different level. And he was the first guy in line to shake hands. He was the first guy at the bench, last guy off, patted all his teammates, had a little conversation. Like, I think there's enough sportsmanship right there. And I have obviously a biased view, as Connor McDavid is my Lord and Savior kind of thing. But, like, it seems goofy, right? Like, it's pro sports. Grow up. Get over it.
The actual game itself. What do we think about it? I've seen people on both ends of the spectrum here in Edmonton. I've had the fans who, man, we played so hard that game. We were battling. We had our chances. We could have scored 3 or 4 goals in that game. And then I've had fans who've said, man, we struggled to show up. We got beat by a much better team that night. We let Florida dominate us. They were physical. They were faster. They were first to. What did you guys see when you were watching it?
I think it's the latter. I think Florida played how Florida plays. And Oilers had a lot of possession time that game, but it was all in the outside. There wasn't anything in the inner slot, and that's how the Florida Panthers play. That's how they make Bobrovsky look like Lord himself, right? It was the most evenly matched game, I think. I think both teams played 100% more. I think that last 5 minutes in the third period, you can tell Edmonton was gassed. Extremely when they pulled the goalie and the first line was out there with how much time was left still? Like 3 minutes? Like, are you going to be playing your first line for the next 3 minutes?
I think they would have tried to if they could get the
McDavid looked gassed out there.
Oh, look how many. If you added up his entire minutes throughout the entire playoffs,
it's nuts.
Like, it's ridiculous. Like, and with him needing surgery, we need to keep specifying that. You know, I'm sure if you added up his minutes on ice the entire playoffs, it could be record setting. Who really knows?
I saw a funny meme, and it was basically like Bobrovsky getting revenge for McDavid calling him Sam Bobrovsky at the All-Stars draft, and I was like, no. Wow. I thought that was quite funny. It was
a throwback.
Yes. I don't know. I think it's a mix of both. I think it's a mix of they tried, and then Florida was like, no, and then I feel like they kind of were gassed and gave up a little bit. I definitely think they tried throughout the whole time. It was different levels of trying.
I think they just got beat.
And I think Florida just snapped back into how they were playing game 1, 2, and 3. Yeah. And it was just like, what the hell am I even seeing? Like, I just don't understand. But I guess it was like do or die for both of us. And Florida do or died it more.
Bobrovsky made saves he needed to make in game 7. I mean, nothing, I'm not going to say anything that was remarkable save-wise, but he made some good saves. He made them when he needed to make them. I mean, the one chance everyone keeps talking about is one that McDavid had where it just seemed to sit on his stick for, it felt like 10 minutes, but it was all of 3 seconds kind of thing. And just couldn't pull the trigger, couldn't get the shot off to score. And then even before Florida's second goal, I mean, Edmonton had it on the Florida goal line before they went the other way to make it 2-1. And it was those fine margins are what win you a Stanley Cup.
Yep.
Yeah, they just couldn't get back.
I think
it was everything.
Sorry, go ahead.
I think it was everything you want in a game 7, right? Like,
oh yeah.
Just when you look back at the series, Florida looked like they were running away, sweeping it, no problem. Mm-hmm. And then Edmonton shows the guts and why they're there and wins 3 in a row, all of them pretty convincingly, right? Like, to go 8-1 and then was 2-3 goal margins in the next 2 at least. Now it looks like Edmonton can't lose. And now you get, I think, gas, this, that. I think Florida was the better team at the end of the day. The scoreboard showed it. Yep. I think the chances were there, but it swung. No one could hold on to momentum. There was chances going both ways. As Noah said, it was a little bit more perimeter from Edmonton. That chance Connor had in front of the net, but otherwise it was Bouchard from the point, hitting the post.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, it was there. You're lucky to be good to be lucky. Yeah, I'm gonna dream about that post for the next however long it takes for us to get back to the Cup Final. Oh my goodness.
Young guy like that.
Right there.
Especially a young guy like that who has scored so many goals this season in
like
the exact way. As man, he would swap every single one of those goals during the regular season for that one to go in,
Yeah. But, and again, like I keep on saying, as an Oilers fan, it sucks. But as a hockey fan, I sat there and watched that, and I was disappointed. I was pretty quiet. Like, I don't think I was the most fun person to be around. But as a hockey fan, you couldn't do anything but just enjoy it. It wasn't a 6-rip blowout. We had a fantastic hockey game. Both teams laying out everything. Guys standing in front of shots with their face. Like, it was awesome. Yeah. I wish every hockey game looked like that.
I know.
I think
for old-time classic.
For the NHL, I mean, we talked about last week as well, the last episode in terms of viewership and the show that the NHL has put on. And I think if you are an NHL executive, you're Gary Bettman, you're leaving there going, man, we are on the absolute greatest display we could have put on here tonight in terms of the quality on the ice, the game itself, and just this entire final series was the best the NHL's had for a long time.
I actually have some stats because we did talk about how this was going to break records. That game 7 was the second most watched NHL game on record ever.
What was the first?
I have no idea, but it hit 16.3 million.
Jesus.
I think the first was back in 2006, I want to say, if I remember.
It was a long time.
That tweet. Which, okay, so I mean, it does surprise me a little bit that was not the number 1 most viewed. I do think if it was not the Florida Panthers, if it was a bigger fan base in the American market, then it would have broken records. Because I mean, I think a good chunk of the total viewers was Canada, and especially Western Canada, where there is not many people in Alberta who did not watch Game 7. There's
like you said last time, if it was New York,
it was the Rangers.
It would have broken it.
Was smashed it for the Rangers.
I still want that Game 7 to be that Game 7 that we just had in Madison Square Gardens.
MSG.
God, the absolute heavyweight clash that is in Madison Square Gardens. Man, that'd be so good. But I the one person I want to talk about a little bit was we talked about Bobrovsky and his moments. I want to talk about the other end. Our boy Stuart Skinner, I thought he was a little shaky Game 7. I mean, fair enough. It's Game 7.
How could you not be?
Game 7 is Cup Final. But I thought...
And he's never been to one before, ever.
I just thought that, some of the... he made the saves with his rebounds given up. I was like, oh my goodness me, sir. You're scaring me. You're giving me...
He's kind of known for that, and my family is rebound Skinner. He gives it up a lot. It doesn't usually stay in his glove a whole ton, which kind of sucks. He was getting better at that, but Game 7 it was like, 4,
5, 6, he was absolutely rock solid on that, though.
Yeah, he was great. I'm proud of him.
I think he made the saves, though, that he had to make. I mean, Florida only scored 2.
Yeah, I think you look back at that second goal, though, and he's going to want that back just the same as Boots.
To be fair, I'm pretty sure there was a screen from Verhaeghe, I want to say. But... Yeah,
and I don't fault, if that, it was a guy that scored 60 goals this year, right?
I mean...
What do you do, right? He's going to get his looks, he's going to capitalize, and the fact that he didn't more throughout the series, props to Stu, but I think, at the end of the day, Stu's going to look back and go...
I could have,
That was right there.
That first goal was pretty unstable too. He was so close, and he just whipped it.
I
was like, I couldn't have been even that mad about it. I was like, damn.
We all said it. Whoever scores the first goal in Game 7 will win the Stanley Cup, and there it is. Yep. We all. You
know what? I was like, everybody in the building was like, shit. Yeah. The people behind me were like just swearing. They were like, oh no, and then and Mark came back right away, and we were like, okay. Hold up. And then, then the rest of the game happened. You guys know how it went. It was pretty sad.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to talk about for Game 7?
Oh, God. Did you guys watch the Stanley Cup celebrations? I'm curious.
No.
I got up and left that building right after the horn went off. Everybody did. I couldn't. My dad was like, we got to go. I can't watch this. I did see what Kachuk said, though. What a little twit.
No way.
I don't understand Calgary rooting for him. I get cheering against the Oilers.
I saw comments being like, I'm a Calgary fan and I do not like you because you hightailed it out of here as soon as Johnny left.
No, that wasn't Kachuk. I can get the Johnny hockey hate because that was all his, but the Kachuk one, that was a shake up.
That's just what people said. But they were basically like, no, Kachuk, we're not for you.
He wanted out. He said he wanted out. No,
was that? I don't know if that was public or not.
Yeah, he said he wasn't gonna come back either. Once Johnny left, if Johnny would have stayed, he probably would have stayed too. Yeah. But once Johnny was out, he's like, well, I'm out of here too. So trade me or don't.
Kachuk has only said nice things about Calgary, so.
Yeah, but he kind of weaponized Calgary against us, and I don't think Calgary liked that a lot because they were like, you know what, we're Canadians still, right?
Well, it depends who you talk to.
No, I think they'd love it.
I throw the nationality out of there if Calgary is in the final there.
So would you cheer for Calgary if they were there in the final?
Yeah, but I would also be rooting against Kachuk.
Said, and they were not pro Kachuk in that, so.
Those are just. Couple people though.
Some people will be pro that, some people will be anti. I mean, at the end of the day, he can say whatever the hell he wants to say. His name's on the trophy and your name's not. That's just the end of the day.
My favorite one was Paul Maurice.
Know what you're gonna say, Winnipeg.
Winnipeg. That one was so cool. That is just true classmanship right there.
Can you explain what he said?
So he's on the interview and he's like, she was asking, what are you hoping for next or whatever it was, and he's like, I hope the Winnipeg Jets win the next Stanley Cup. which is just
he was there before, right?
And
plus,
he's been there for a long time.
He got such a premature I wanted more out of the Winnipeg Jets this season. I'm not gonna lie. I had them going to the second round, so I was kind of surprised and I was kind of bummed out. I was like, I want to watch a good team play, but it went how it went.
His little monologue about to his dad, talking about I'm gonna go say the names and I'm not gonna get them right, so I'm not even gonna try. But lists off 3 Hall of Famers, all-time players, and then Maurice, and he goes, "Your name's on the cup with them, Dad." That was so cool. And the only thing I can really pull out of this is I'm so happy for Paul Maurice to lift that cup. It is well overdue for that.
Well, he is going to be the most games coached as a coach eventually. He's going to pass Scotty Bowman, I assume. Most losses as a coach. That's an irrelevant stat now. But I think he's going to be one of the best coaches of all time.
He's never lost a game.
He's going 5-0 now.
Never lost a game 7. That speaks volumes.
That's a great stat.
Yep.
But he knows how to whip it back into shape to win the cup. So
I mean, he's been coaching he coached the Whalers.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't know that. That's crazy.
He was young when he coached the Whalers too. I'm just gonna double check myself here, but he's young.
When they go to Carolina.
Oh no, I know he coached but he's only 57 years old. That was the one I was looking for. Yeah, he can go for another decade
easily
if he feels like it. And more.
He could do a couple more. This guy probably won't do it until he has a heart attack on the bench.
I mean, that comment he said about his dad, that's fantastic. He's a great speaker of a coach. I mean, he's very open with the media. He says what he feels, and I think a lot of NHL fans really do like the way he conducts himself and the way he handles the off-ice portion of the coaching job. But no, I think he deserves to have a Stanley Cup under his name. I think he definitely does.
I agree. It's the one thing missing from his resume. Another one though, Roberto Luongo.
I don't get that one. That was what I didn't get.
Was that the guy who was holding it, and everybody was like, "Why is he holding it?"
No, Roberto Luongo.
Maybe
he's part of all the general managers and whatnot.
He's okay because I saw that he was staff. And
he's banging the drum.
He bangs the drum pre-game.
He played in Florida a lot of his career. Vancouver Canucks, probably known for. I remember when we were doing our favorite players, one of our first episodes. I said Luongo. I mean, I wore his number. I modeled my game after him. I remember watching clips and just trying to get his positions right and whatnot. Clearly didn't help my career, but loved him so much. Great personality, and I think he totally deserved it. And then a clip went out yesterday of him eating some sort of pasta out of the bowl.
Did you guys see the twins I was talking about in the cup? There was one person on the team whose wife just gave birth to twins, and they were so newborn that they both fit in the cup.
I did not see.
There's a picture
I saw
of them on the internet. But...
Tarasenko's son. He said he sent out a post when he won it in 2019, and then now. That was a cool picture. And, no, I didn't see the twins.
So let's say,
it was so cute.
Let's say you get the Stanley Cup for 24 hours. What are you doing with it?
Oh.
I'm eating out of it. I don't even know. Out of it.
Are you? I
forgot who did it.
Are you taking it somewhere special, or are you just?
I'm not gonna take it into the sea. The guy who
taking around Beaumont
has the cup with the white gloves. He probably had a heart attack when he saw that video.
It's not his.
Oh, I would have done that. That would have been the first thing I did.
There's been so much worse.
The Edmonton Oilers lost it. They lost under a bridge downtown. It took them 2 days to find it.
The Vegas guys last year falling over with it drunk and stuff. Oh,
Colorado dented it.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe that's what it was. I think it was them falling with it.
On the ice. They dented it going for the picture.
That thing has been absolutely destroyed year after year after year. And that's fine. That's part of the story with it. you've worked so hard, you can do whatever the hell you want with it. But
why not have fun with it?
If you had it for a day, where would you take it? What would you do with it?
Taking it to Beaumont, down the street, going put a donair in it, make a donair in the bowl. Might as well.
Oh, a donair poutine in it. It would be so good.
Inside the bowl.
I would take it to the beach and just let it sit on the sand and tan beside it.
What beach? Alberta Beach.
I would hightail it out of here with not Alberta Beach. That's disgusting. I'd probably go to like Saskatchewan. They have better beaches. It's actually clean.
Saskatchewan, the middle of the country. The most landlocked province there is.
What? They have way cleaner lakes. I go camping there all the time. Alberta lakes are just full of seagull poop.
True.
Okay, moving on.
Brendan.
Save this. Save it. SOS.
I wouldn't do that. I'd go to Camrose. I would hang out with it there. I eat out of it, drink out of it. It's kind of same story. Put all sorts of stuff on it, in it, whatever. Like, you know, it would have a fun time.
Yeah. Would you pull Alexander Ovechkin and have a nap with it?
No, I would sleep with that thing for all 4.5 hours that night.
You guys are hating on me for taking it to the beach, but Ovechkin naps with it. Come on.
No. We're hating on you taking it to the Saskatchewan beach.
Yeah.
Where else am I going to go?
World renowned for their beaches. Fucking Saskatoon, Saskatchewan.
Not Saskatoon.
I don't know. Go to the mountains.
Yeah. Take it up to...
What's the difference? Take it to the mountains and the beach. Stop hating on me. I'm not taking it to Alberta Beach. That's disgusting.
Take it up the gondola to the top of the mountain, Jasper. There you go, buddy. Have a time.
Yeah.
Ooh, you know what would be cool though? Like skiing down the mountain with it.
In June.
It's just June 27th.
There's still snow on top of the mountain.
Bring the winter back. Thank you so much.
Do you guys not know like altitude and like snow still being on top of mountains?
You are right. You are right.
Yep.
You are right.
Exactly.
It's just funny.
Okay. We have a lot of news to cover now, Noah Pomeroy.
Oh, do we now?
Congratulations to the Florida Panthers, by the way. You're deserving Cup champions. Good job. You've done a thing.
We're not going to boo you like you did McDavid. I freaking can't with that. That pissed me off.
Any other team would have done it.
Noah Pomeroy, it's time for news. I'm directing it to you. Take it away.
There's so much going on. Like I said, 4 days after the Stanley Cup Final, the draft is Friday night, which is absurd. And I just released a blog going through the mock draft or whatnot. Not a big deal. But this draft is going to be absolutely...
I met Elliot Friedman.
I am Elliot Friedman.
This draft is going to be absolutely nuts.
Who are you taking first overall?
Oh, that's the only one I know what's going first overall. Macklin Celebrini. I put money on him to go first overall. I put $7. I think I'm making 5 cents or something like that. 4 cents.
I was gonna say 50 cents.
Are you happy with that being first overall? Is that deserving?
Oh yeah. Most definitely. There's comparisons to Jonathan Taves with him. I think that's probably the closest you're gonna get. Honestly, I think he's gonna be better than Taves in some ways.
That's a shout.
More giftedly offensive. Okay. This guy can do it all. But yeah, the draft is going to be nuts. I think there's going to be a lot of big trades, a lot of off the board picks, and what better place to do it than in the Sphere in Las Vegas?
Viva Las Vegas! Yeah, I think it's going to be a fun draft. I'm going to be honest.
I agree. The awards just ended now. McKinnon won the Hart and the Ted Lindsay. What a season for him! I was confused, because this has been something we've been talking about all season long for who's going to win the Hart between McKinnon, Kucherov, and McDavid. But Nate Dogg gets it done and gets his first Hart. Good for him. Honestly, fantastic player. And
McDavid's better.
His interview, the awards. It's a tough. That was a tough one. I ain't gonna lie. I saw the first couple. Oh boy,
just finished stroking off Game 7, and then we jump into the awards that they fumble every time.
Last year wasn't too bad. I give them that.
It wasn't too bad. That's exactly what we're shooting for.
It wasn't
Hell yeah,
too bad.
NHL.
I love how the expectations are so low for it. Jesus.
Oh, they're just doing a garbage job.
I don't want to say it's the players. The players, they oh boy, they don't crack one smile for any jokes, and the cameras, of course, are always going to pan to them because the jokes are usually about them or whatever. And oh boy, it's kind of funny because how dead it is in there.
Well, the players just coming off of a Game 7, they don't want to be there.
Oh yeah,
their season just finished. The players who have already been off for a month, they don't want to be there. They're on vacation mode right now. Sorry, I don't want to be put on a suit and sitting there. I get it, but it's part of the job, right? It's part of the contract. So you were a big fan of the host, weren't you?
No, I don't know who that guy is. I don't think anybody. I thought he's a TikToker is what I was seeing, and he was like dressed up as Howard Stern. Bedard probably doesn't even know who that guy is.
Yeah,
I'm surprised I do.
Bedard's too young. Oh god.
But I don't know. I need to watch it back the second half. I don't know if I want to or not. But
run me through the rest of the awards. Who picked up what?
But yeah, 10 Lindsay goes to McKinnon as well. Not surprised there. Calder goes to Connor Bedard, which is whoa. What? I did think Brock Faber had a really good shot at it, and then Vezina. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say you took home pretty much every second place vote there was.
Yeah.
So, what do you do?
Minnesota's got a stud there.
Yeah.
I don't want to interrupt the award show, but my favorite Calgary Flame player just got traded. Andrew Mangiapane just got drafted.
Oh shit!
Just got traded to the Washington Capitals for a second-round pick. Listen, Mr. Andrew eats bread. I like him. Okay, Italian fan favorite.
Whoa.
Italian fan favorite. Okay, so yep. Very rude of you, Calgary.
Oh.
Figure it out.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I feel like Calgary's doing a full
Mangiapane,
reset.
he's a really good goal scorer.
He eats bread, no.
And for a second round pick,
that's how much was he making? What's his contract look like?
I don't think it was.
Is there any reason?
If unless it is like an RFA type of thing, let me just double check real quick. That is out of the blue.
Breaking news here. Around the Rinks is literally on the precipice.
No, I think he signed. So no, he's on his last year of
5.8 mil.
5.8 mil. So I guess.
Well, the Washington Capitals need it, so
maybe he let the team know that he wasn't wanting to re-sign. That's probably what it is there.
But for a second,
that's tough.
I mean, like, is Amir or is Calgary kind of like falling apart and doing a great reset? Because they gave away Markstrom, they gave away Mangiapane, Johnny and Kachuk have been gone. They're bringing Wolf up.
This Caps team, though, it's gonna be
just
Pierre-Luc Dubois.
They're going to be aggressive this offseason. This is quite the show to start.
They got rid of Kemper.
They want to get Ovi that record man.
Yeah, good for them.
Yeah,
I love that deal. Love for the Caps.
I know there are a lot of awards to get through. I'm just looking.
There isn't many.
I'm just looking through some like the biggest news. I mean, everyone's talking about the biggest unrestricted free agent right now is Jake Gensel. So him, a lot of people are saying Vancouver could be a good destination for him. Do you think?
I see that.
Where do you see him going?
So he's not sticking where he.
Gensel, no, they can't afford him. Carolina can't afford him.
They just borrowed him for a little.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Well, it was smart for playoffs.
Just a rental.
I do agree with
Gensel. He's going to make a lot of money wherever he goes.
Afford him?
And they're clearly clearing cap for something.
I mean, what if Drac goes? Then do we get Gensel?
No, we're taking the goalie.
No, we don't have enough money for that, I don't think.
I'm sorry.
We need another.
Oh yeah, Vancouver's dumping a lot of money now. They got a Mikheyev. They just sent to Chicago for a bag of pucks. And then there was another one that I'm already forgetting about right now.
They just signed Joshua.
And Dakota Joshua and Tyler Myers they just signed.
They signed Myers?
Yep. 3 years for Myers.
3-year, $9 million deal for Mr. Myers.
I guess 3 million. Yeah, 3 isn't a terrible cap hit, but
34.
But he can't skate at all. But that's beside the point.
Hey, what is he? He's a 6'8" or something, 6'7".
Yeah, big boy.
That's all you need. I honestly had a good year this year with Canucks. So
see that Zaitsev was potentially on his way to Chicago. They said that he had a no move
out of Chicago because he's with Chicago right now. No.
Oh, the Zaitsev. I was thinking Zadorov. No, you're right. Yep.
The Dallas
2 Russians
Stars,
with Z last names. Bastards.
The Dallas Stars bought out Ryan Sutter in his last
year. Yeah, that was a big one.
The Sharks have acquired
clearing more money.
The Sharks have acquired Grundstrom from the Kings for
Burrows. Just one for one. I love what the Sharks have been doing.
Mm-hmm.
The Mike Greer he's like the Capitals. They are going. They want to make a push this year, and they want to play some competitive hockey. It's been tough. Maybe try to hopefully have some more players wanting to sign with San Jose.
Didn't I see some news coming out of Toronto that one of their bigger names is going to be possibly on the move to Utah?
I saw the Marner talk has been cooking. Marner talk has been cooking the last couple of days.
Didn't we see Marner like meet with somebody in like this like rundown restaurant a couple episodes ago?
I think I remember you. Yeah, I remember like seeing that. I think that was him talking to the new head coach Berube. I think.
Okay, I thought it was somebody else from a different team.
Yeah.
Did you see the guy that's out here breaking stories? He said Marner's on his way to Utah on Monday. It was Game 7 day. Yeah, and he just has no idea. Like, he's had receipts and he's just saying things.
He's just saying things.
It's about all the sports.
Time travel is real, Brendan, okay? He's from the future.
Oh, no. The guy has no idea what's going on. He's just shooting shots. And then they had was it Dion Waiters, I think? Said, I would rather be 0 for 30 than 0 for 9 because it means I stop shooting. Like, that's what this guy's doing right now. He's going to hit one of them, but he's going to be 0 for 29 before he does.
True. But yeah, everything is happening. A lot of things because July 1st that's the deadline. That is when all UFA players are going to the market. So we're seeing a lot of players now saying that they're going to test the market. I think Matt Roy is one with LA that just came out not too long ago. That's a big one. Stamkos he needs to be signed still for July 1st. So that's not too far away for now.
Who on the Edmonton Oilers is on that list?
A lot. I got the list right here. Connor Brown, Sam Carrick, Warren Fogle, Sam Gagner, Adam Henrique, Matthias Janmark, Corey Perry. Defensive side, Vinny Desharnais, and Troy Stetcher.
Well, I heard you're thinking about getting Gagner to retire or probably giving him away at this point.
I have no idea. Oh, you won't make anything from him.
Gagner,
the trade I want to happen? Get Soupy out of here. I don't want him no more.
Well, they'll buy out Campbell. They'll buy him out. No one's going to buy
him. That would be a buy. The buyout window is also till
the 1st, I think. No?
It's the 1st or the Sunday.
If I'm realistic,
the 30th.
Sam Gagner will probably retire.
Yeah, I think that's the last that he can. Like the 1st.
I wouldn't be shocked if Corey Perry also retires. I know he said he has more hockey left in him, but did he do enough during the playoffs to make you go, I want him to come back? I don't think so.
He didn't do squat.
That's the thing with Perry, though. That's like that. His role now is just to get in people's faces.
But you don't need that as much as you can get someone. Look at Janmark. He has in people's faces and he can score goals. Corey Perry doesn't. I think they'll let Desharnais go. I think
Desharnais gone.
Kane probably a buyout.
I think they're going to try and move him.
Well, yeah, I don't know how you're going to get rid of Kane. It's hard to move money, and $5 million, $5.1 million.
I would be kind of sad to see like Janmark, Brown, Fogle, McLeod, Holloway, like those people. I don't want to go. If I could pick somebody to go, it would probably be McLeod over everybody because I saw more production out of the other guys, especially in the playoffs.
Well, McLeod is signed for another year.
Yeah, he's good this season.
I think what Edmonton's new GM will do when he comes in will be more smaller contracts rather than big contracts. He has his big ones. He has his. If he can get Draisaitl to re-sign, he'll have him. He'll have McDavid. He'll have Stuart Skinner on a big contract probably, but he won't. He won't have a Kane. He won't have a Perry. He'll be small like your Fogels, your Carricks.
Yeah, but the thing with like Fogel or even Janmark, they're going to get paid. They're going to need money. And one thing I saw is kind of what they did with Nugent Hopkins and give them term, but with less annual cap hit. That is one thing I saw with Henrique, because Henrique has already kind of came out and said he doesn't really care about the money and just wants to go somewhere to win.
Like I could see Henrique doing it. I could see Janmark doing it. Even Brown would do it. But like Fogel coming off, what was his first 20-goal season?
I think Fogel's
for money.
See you later, Fogel's right? Like it's business, right? Like we're getting paid. I see Vinny doing the same thing. I think the guy probably wants some security, but he's 28, 29.
He's good enough to play in the NHL. He's good enough to play for a team.
28.
And I think
he's looking for a payday.
I think he earned a spot too on the team, so I think him
I don't know.
For money might be his exit.
He lost his spot.
Exactly.
He lost it to Broberg.
Coming into next season, Broberg's gonna have his spot before Desharnais. I mean, Desharnais was there, and they said, you know what, you're not our guy right now. We're trusting this younger guy instead.
The only way is
I just don't get it. Like I do. I guess you have more spots of people who are playing the same or a little bit better. I just think he would be great to keep, but I don't know. Maybe Bakersfield and pull him up if we need. I just don't see the point in losing him.
You wouldn't even be able to put him down. He's going to want a 1-year deal, so then you would have to go through waivers and whatnot with him.
Yeah. That's just kind of sucky. Like I really liked him as like, even in just like, you could tell he's good for the locker room, good for Skinner. So I don't know.
Does Montreal need a French-speaking defenseman?
No.
Come on.
I do have a question to ask.
Montreal's so many defensemen.
But
I don't really know anything about the
Michael
draft,
Matheson.
really. So what's Edmonton's position in this draft? Like, do we have
womp womp?
Yeah,
not good since we did good.
We got a second-round pick and then a fifth, sixth, seventh. Yeah, we're
okay. So nothing to really watch for
because you traded the first two for Henrique.
Yeah, and even at that first, you're picking 31. So it's some dude you've probably never heard of.
Never even gonna. I know that.
And then we're just gonna give them away, or what?
And then probably never play.
Never play. Yeah, it's just gonna be another guy.
Go to Bakersfield.
It's not impossible to use strike something.
Totally in the first round. I think in the first and second round you'll get an NHL eventually player.
Don't you ever forget about Pavel Datsyuk, our boy, way down there.
Great segue for that.
Yes,
I know. I have my moments.
Amazing segue for that.
Moments, Noah.
The Hall of Fame inductees this year, and Pavel Datsyuk finally.
I love that man.
Finally is there. He also just announced his retirement from professional hockey as well at 45. I think he is.
They're built different out there, okay? They're built different.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Machine, right?
Yeah, it's absolutely insane. I don't know where he's been playing. I think he's been playing in the KHL.
Just out there.
I want to say.
I think so.
In the fields,
yeah.
In the iceberg fields of where
Roenick too. He's been a long overdue.
That one is very long overdue. There's still so many. I mean, like Shea Weber.
That one I don't understand. Can someone explain that to me?
What do you mean? Okay, Shea Weber is probably my favorite player growing up, so I might be a little biased.
I love Shea Weber. I love him. I would say right up there with my favorite players too. But
he still has an NHL contract.
Well, I'm not saying he's not an NHLer, but first ballot, and then you look at other names on the list that have been left off. I don't think I put Shea Weber ahead of a lot of those guys. And I guess the Hockey Hall of Fame, right? He didn't get his cup, but he has a couple of gold medals. He's done the gold medals, right? On the international side of things, but so have a lot of other guys. It's just not one. I don't get it. What's that?
Is he able to come up again for selection?
Or
so Weber's in.
Oh no, I'm saying like
Shea Weber's.
But players who if you get skipped over, are you able to come back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
next year,
years?
Yeah.
I think you have a 10-year window or something maybe that you're on the ballot. Does that sound right-ish?
I don't know. I think they change it all the time and whatnot.
Yeah.
Too.
But like Alex McGinley, and I never had the pleasure of watching him, but I
saw people talking about that.
Just like this guy's the best player that ever touched the ice, right? Mm-hmm. He's Connor McDavid in a generation where you can't really beat Connor McDavid. Mm-hmm. Him and Bure are cut from the same cloth. They both have international success. I'm pretty sure he won a cup. I might be speaking out of turn there, but like guy threw up 120 points, 130 points, something for a couple of years. Like his stay wasn't terribly long, but as far as an NHL resume says, I think he's done way better than Weber.
Yeah, I do agree with that.
Recency bias I am curious. Is a strong thing. People remember the recent, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, that's very true.
That too. And Shea Weber's known as probably one of the best leaders ever.
Well, that clip that came out of Carey Price taking all the blame.
Oh, yep.
After pick up, and Weber just goes, "I didn't see it that way," and then goes on his feet. Like that was made me want to get
after and after he's not going to play ever again. And he's still just being a leader. And even the year he was injured in Montreal, he was still in the locker rooms with the team and still the captain, technically.
Yeah, no, I'm so happy for him. It's just, it does make me scratch my head a bit at the voters and their decisions.
Funny enough, Shea Weber is the only only defenseman signed on the Utah Hockey Club.
Serious?
Yep. The other ones are technically with Tucson still, if you look on Cap Friendly.
No kidding.
Unless they did I know they've been making signings. It could be a little different now, but at least in the last month, he was the only signed defense.
We're talking about,
which is hilarious.
We're talking about the Edmonton Oilers GM having a busy offseason. Imagine being over in Utah right now. There's a lot to figure out over there.
Liam O'Brien signing a 3-year deal is the first thing they do, and I love it. This is the guy I was saying he has earned himself a contract because he called himself Spicy Tuna.
Yep.
It was the player introduction to all the fans in Utah, and he's like, "I'm Liam O'Brien, but you can call me Spicy Tuna."
There you go.
Yep, there you go. There's the contract right there. Fans went absolutely insane. He's gonna be a fan favorite. He kind of reminds me of Brendan Tanev in Seattle. Kind of pretty much same personality, earning himself a contract because of his personality.
I'm looking forward to watching Utah this season.
I'm excited. Yeah. I think that whole Arizona organization is in the uprise.
Yeah.
So they're on that team that now they're kind of moving out of that rebuild. So it's gonna be exciting, and they're all young players too, young and flashy players there. Shame that Logan Cooley.
We've talked a lot tonight about Game 7, of course. Some of the awards that were given out at the awards show. We talked about some news, some trades that have gone down. Anything else on the top of your mind you want to cover?
I got a funny little rumor because we're all Edmonton people. Columbus is the only team with a vacant coach right now. Head coach position.
Well, did I maybe? Well, you go first. I don't want to sound like an idiot.
Okay. I'm pretty sure they are. Now you're going to make me double check.
I thought they signed Todd McClellan.
That wasn't confirmed yet.
Yeah. Got duped again.
Yeah. So Todd McClellan and Jay Woodcroft are the front runners to be
go figure, right?
To be the Columbus next head coach.
Jay Woodcroft.
So two Oiler. Yeah.
Woodcroft.
I mean, I'm sentimental. I would love to see Jay Woodcroft get back into the NHL and coach a team and see him do good, right? Like that's just how Paul Maurice was happy. He wants Winnipeg to do good. I want Jay Woodcroft to do good, right? I think he was good while it lasted, and then I think it went a little bit downhill. But I think he did great things for us. He took us to the Western Conference Finals, right? Yeah. So,
yeah,
I think he could do that.
I think he will get a job, and he's pretty young too. Yep.
Yeah,
even not even in that head coach role, he can go as an assistant somewhere else still and still learn. That's the big one for him. A name that
I don't think
6 months.
Sorry, go
ahead. If I was Jay, I don't think I would want to go to Columbus. Like that just seems like a nice way to get canned again.
True.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's kind of a crap team to go to. But
it was 3 head coaches in the last calendar year, I think.
Yeah, well, and the whole Babs situation doesn't really.
I guess it doesn't really. Yeah,
but
say you don't want to live in Ohio.
Tough.
Great place,
What?
great state of Ohio.
This is a name that I didn't think would be back in the NHL, but Claude Julien, hired as Blues assistant head coach.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Why not?
No kidding.
What a resume that guy has. With probably two of the biggest markets in NHL, coached for the Bruins for a long time with the Habs as well. I think he won in 2011.
2 teams to go, like to and from, right?
Rivals, yeah.
But yeah, good for him. He's clearly a hockey guy because I'm pretty sure he suffered a heart attack when he was with Montreal not too long ago. Like he's pretty up there in age. Hey, if you're recycling a head coach, recycle him. I love him so much.
Yeah, married to the game.
And then Steve Ott is also getting a promotion in Blues, so now he's the associate there.
Good for him.
Big fan of Steve Ott growing up.
Claude Julien is 64 years old.
Damn.
Doing his thing.
Honestly, younger than I thought.
It looks like they're really trying to build a core guide for the team. And I think, if there is those great assistant coaches and stuff like that, maybe Woodcroft would take a look at them and be like, hey, maybe if I have these people on my back helping me, maybe I can switch this team up and help them succeed. Why not, right? If you got other people.
I think he'd be a great fit in Columbus. I think he can go for a younger team in the rebuild. I think he would be pretty good there. And because he's a younger guy too, he's a player's coach.
Yeah.
So a guy like Todd,
having Claude Julien as an assistant would be really good, I think, for Woodcroft.
Yeah, that would be pretty funny.
Anything else?
And nothing really.
The biggest breaking news in all of sports is quite simply LeBron James will now be playing with his own son in Los Angeles. That is the biggest news of all time.
That didn't see that one coming.
We didn't. Everyone did. Come on.
Didn't see that one coming at all.
Bronny James.
He's just gonna feed his son all the shots.
His son's terrible. He just happens to have the last name James. Like,
James.
Get on
also the first name LeBron.
Yeah, that does help too.
Is he like LeBron James II?
Junior.
Is he second or junior?
Oh.
And then they call him Bronny because we don't want him to have to live up to the name, grow up.
That's the only thing that matters in sports right now. It's the only thing that matters in sports.
When you put the heat on athletes, they either crumble or they rise to the occasion. So put the heat on them.
He's been crumbling his entire life.
Well, I mean, shit, that's a lot of pressure to be LeBron James' son. And imagine he was I don't want to play basketball. That would have been crazy. So he's probably forced into it.
Yeah.
There's been a lot to talk about this episode.
It's only this next week is going to be even crazier.
Hopefully we can keep these episodes coming up consistently and keeping up with the news because there's a ton of news to come out. And keep an eye out for some different episodes that will be coming up here on Around the Rinks. Yes, the weekly podcast episodes will continue as they continue, but we're going to cook a little bit behind the scenes and hopefully come up with something good. Hopefully.
We'll find some fun things to do this summer.
We have a lot of different ideas.
And we may have some special guests.
Noah Pomeroy, times 2.
We did talk to people.
Yeah, 2 of me.
Two of you, just back and forth. Noah Pomeroy. Anything else you want to say before we wrap up?
No, that's just what a year.
What a year.
What a first season for doing a podcast, right? It's just kind of crazy.
Well, I remember we were talking with this guy and he was like, oh yeah, a bunch of people are starting stuff. And this was a couple weeks ago. And I was like, we started this in September or October when the Oilers weren't doing very well.
I think it was January.
Really? I don't.
Yeah, we started second semester.
September.
Well, we started talking about it, I think, a little bit. And then we finally put the wheels on.
We did talk about it like end of first semester. We got like, okay, let's start this next semester. I honestly didn't think it was going to happen.
We really did start it when like we were like, oh my God, is this a downfall of the Oilers? But I think we really did fight through it. And then we got to just see this amazing display of hockey. So I think we're honestly very lucky.
I made the logo for Around the Rinks on the exact day that Edmonton's season turned the corners when they beat Washington like 5-1. That was the day. The around the Rinks got minted.
Saved the Oilers.
And the Oilers season got saved. Thank you so much. Thank you so much,
there
everybody.
I mean, this whole season could have went so differently.
December 4th. No, that's a lie.
Yeah, that's middle winter break.
No.
Just a picture.
Yeah, I thought it was holding the Around the Rinks logo. It wasn't.
I can look when I saved the Around the Rinks logo from Liam, and it'll be around that date.
You could also just see when our first episode went out.
No, but we were before that.
Well, we did have an episode, but somebody deleted it.
God.
And someone else can't get over it.
The very
January 26th was our first video.
That's so you had crazy. One before then, so middle of January was the first ever Around the Rinks.
Yeah, we I think we recorded like 3 different first episodes.
Yeah. Well, we had to find our flow, and I think we have for sure.
Talked about the same thing 3 times.
We were kind of horrible in the beginning. Oh my God, we were just talking over each other, and I don't think we knew how to
still do
have the flow of the podcast.
It's all good.
Yeah. Well, we've definitely gotten a bit better though.
Let me say this.
Well, I mean, have you guys went back and listened to some of our first ones?
I don't want to at all.
I can't do it.
I'm gonna remember the day that I was like pretty much on my deathbed.
Yeah.
And we were doing our Stanley Cup predictions that day. I do not remember it at all. And I was like listening back like the week later. I was like, oh no.
Well, on behalf of
that was a tough one.
On behalf of the golden beaches of Saskatchewan and the snowy mountaintops on June 27th, thank you for watching another Around the Rinks episode. Noah, take us out of here.
Well, just what a season again. We're gonna be doing stuff all off season. Follow, subscribe, everything. See you guys next time.
Goodbye. That has been another episode of Around the Rinks, your go-to hockey podcast. We'll see you next time.